I looked at Lucien. He was undeniably handsome, especially when he smiled. We had shared tea often these past months. Careful words, mutual restraint. Only my gaze drifted lower. He really was thin. Noticing my stare, Lucien glanced at my empty cup and leaned forward to refill it. A prince who traded in commerce yet carried the scent of ink. "You're unusually quiet today," he said softly. I wasn't quiet. I was thinking of Edric's words. Lucien is useless. I nodded once, then reached out and caught Lucien by the collar. "Can you?" I paused. "Father children?" His lashes trembled. He set the cup down slowly and lifted his gaze. His eyes were calm and dark. He lifted my chin with 2 fingers. "Shall we find out?" I truly wanted to. If Lucien could not produce an heir, then my entire board would collapse. But even rebellion has limits. A taverns was not the place. A month later, the performance I promised finally arrived. The heir traveled south for plague relief, taking his beloved orphan with him. Unexpectedly, she fell ill. When her condition failed to improve, the heir panicked and ordered her sent back to the capital. That alone would have drawn comment. What no one expected was that the heir himself returned. He had been drugged by the orphan and brought back unconscious. His Highness was already showing symptoms, she later explained tearfully. I was close to death myself. How could I leave him there to die? In my last life, she wrote these words with shaking hands. A girl who knew only a few characters, barely educated. No one could press her further. But an heir who abandoned a plague zone, who brought potential contagion back to the capital, who fled while others remained, and worse still, he was never infected. It was only a common fever. Last time, my father buried the matter. The officials who traveled with Edric were all his former students. Before Edric reached the city, my father intercepted them and sent them back south. The scandal never surfaced. This time, my father chose not to intervene. The moment Leora escorted Edric into the capital, the city erupted. Criticism flooded the streets. The emperor was furious, condemning the heir's conduct, declaring his virtue unworthy of the throne. Public opinion, of course, can be guided with silver, but not imperial silver. Too late, Edric discovered that over the past months, his private assets had vanished. Confiscated, ruined, frozen. His treasury was empty. Too proud to beg, he could only watch his outrage continue to swell. I sent Lucien a note. Prepare the second move. It was time to expose Leora's false silence. Edric believed her love was pure, untainted. Last time, when she dragged him back to the capital, he only sighed. She simply cares too much. This time, no one cleaned up after him. I wondered if he could still say the same. Lucien had already placed servants in the heir's court. With minimal effort, they persuaded someone he could already speak to do so again. It was not difficult. I had intended to frighten her using the plague, but before plans could begin, she rushed headlong into disaster herself. It happened one evening. The heir had been scolded by the people, by officials, by the emperor himself. Frustrated beyond endurance, he had not visited Leora's courtyard for 5 days. The heir's court was vast. It held an artificial lake, arched by a stone bridge. That night, Leora sat upon the railing, willow-thin, trembling. She cried and gestured toward the heir. "It is my fault. I have burdened your highness. I wish to atone. In the next life, I will repay your devotion." She leapt. The heir, overcome, jumped in after her. Unfortunately, whether the hour was poorly chosen or the heir was simply blind, he struggled in the water for some time and found no one. Leora could not swim. She thrashed, waiting for rescue that never came. At last, survival prevailed. She screamed, "Help! Your Highness, I'm here!" It was said the heir's expression was unforgettable. A pity I missed it. After that night, the heir's court echoed with rage and sobbing. Days later, the matter reached the council hall again. The heir knelt and refused to rise. "Father," he begged, "please withdraw the decree. I wish to annul the marriage. My mother once taught me, for women, especially those of great houses, love is dangerous. Give 7 parts at most. Keep 3 for yourself." No one ever taught Edric. Or perhaps he had simply been spoiled. The empress, though a second wife, was beautiful and entirely favored. The emperor had a frail eldest son, several delicate princesses, and only gained another prince when Edric was 14. From birth, Edric claimed every royal resource. From birth, he believed the world revolved around him. He would marry whom he wished. He would discard whom he wished. The emperor nearly collapsed in fury and reached for the sword of authority. The city descended into chaos. He wanted the marriage. The wedding was imminent. Now he refused. How should the people see him? How should they see the emperor's command? No one was beheaded. He was kicked a few times and told to leave. And Edric, once sent away, came straight to my courtyard. I had only just finished testing Lucien. I had no intention of moving. Unfortunately, no one had been left in the courtyard. Edric pounded on the door hard enough to shake it. When I opened it, I finally saw the heir's expression. Magnificent. Lucien, for all his frailty, possessed the sharpness common to princes. As I tried to rise, he caught my throat lightly, not to restrain me, but to leave proof. Edric saw it. Shock. Disbelief. Something darker beneath it. It took him a long moment to find his voice. "Selim, you and him." I adjusted my collar and tilted my head. After living by rules for so long, is it so strange to step outside them? Edric exploded. "You are not yet married. Do you have no shame?" "That's a strange accusation," I said calmly. But a voice like falling jade sounded from within. "You shared a bed with an orphan girl without rights or witnesses. What exactly are you accusing us of?" Edric hadn't expected Lucien to still be inside. His face flushed, then drained. "I'm not like you," Lucien continued evenly. "Breaking engagements one day, forming another the next. When I choose something, I do not waver." Edric had gone completely pale. "Celine Vale is not how you address her," Lucien added. "Call her your sister-in-law." Edric's lips trembled. For a moment, I almost thought he would say it, but nothing. Disappointing. I closed the door.